Good morning and welcome to the Zula B. Wiley Public Library. I'm Miss Terry and I'm so happy you are here this morning joining us for story time. Today I have a couple of books about staying at home, and I know that's a theme we're all kind of bored with, but hopefully this will inspire you and give you some ideas on why home is not always a bad thing. So welcome. And I wanted to start, of course, with our song that we do every time you join us, which is Hello Friends. And I'm going to do the movements and we'll do it together. It goes, hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Let's do it together. Ready? Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. All right. Well, welcome again. And like I mentioned before, these stories are inspired by a little thing that I saw that kind of fell in line with this is staying at home. There was a little video on CBS News this morning with a little girl that is just having this sobbing meltdown about how unfair it was that they couldn't go anywhere or do anything. And she said, I can't even go to my favorite McDonald's restaurant, and the ice cream truck doesn't come, and she can't see her friends. And, you know, Dad even offers, well, we can drive through McDonald's. And she's like, no. And so it kind of, you know, is what we're going through right now. And even some adults are having some meltdowns. So we want to make sure that we reassure them that it's okay to tell kids that there is a virus and that you are doing everything that you can to help them stay safe and healthy. And encourage them that they have a role in keeping them safe as well. Remind them to sneeze in their elbow or a tissue and to throw it away. And remember to teach them proper hand washing by using a song that's about 20 seconds long. So focusing on what they can do also to help the spread of the virus makes them feel like they have some of their control during this uncertain time. So enough of the business, let's move on to some books. All right. Well, this first one is called The MixedUp Chameleon, and it's one of my favorites by Eric Carle. On a shiny green leaf sat a small green chameleon. It moved into a brown tree and turned brownish. Then it rested on a red flower and it turned reddish. When the chameleon moved slowly across the yellow sand, it turned yellowish. You could hardly see it. When the chameleon was warm and had something to eat, it turned sparkling green. But when it was cold and hungry, it turned gray and dull. When the chameleon was hungry, it sat still and waited. Only its eyes moved up and down and sideways until it spotted a fly. Then the chameleon's long and sticky tongue shot out and caught the fly. That was its life. It was not very exciting. But one day, the chameleon saw a zoo. It had never seen so many beautiful animals. The chameleon thought, how small am I? How slow, how weak. I wish I could be big and white like a polar bear. And the chameleon's wish came true. But was it happy? No. I wish I could be handsome like a flamingo. I wish I could be smart like a fox. I wish I could swim like a fish. I wish I could run like a deer. I wish I could see things far away like a giraffe. Oh my, look at that long neck. I wish I could hide in a shell like a turtle. I wish I could be strong like an elephant. That's just getting crazy. I wish I could be funny like a seal. I wish I could be like people. Just then, a fly flew by. The chameleon was very hungry, but the chameleon was very mixed up. It was a little of this and it was a little of that, and it couldn't catch the fly. I wish I could be myself. The chameleon's wish came true, and it caught a fly. And the moral of this is that really just being yourself is probably the perfect thing, and being yourself is just like home. It just is. All right, let's do a song. And I did come across some great resources this weekend. So if you're getting a little bored, Parade Magazine has 125 ideas for activities to do during stay at home. It's kind of long, but it's parade.com. And if you just search 125 ideas and activities during stay at home, it should come up. But it's got everything from virtual websites, which we're a little bit, having too much technology right now. But in addition to that, it gives scavenger hunt ideas, it gives backyard ideas, all kinds of ideas to keep your children occupied during this time. So look it up, it's got some great ideas. All right, moving on to music.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Woo-hoo-hoo. Everybody up. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo.
Clap, clap, clap your hands. Stomp, stomp, stomp your feet. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle your hips. Spin around to the beat. Clap, clap, clap your hands.
Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, good job. Before we move on to our next book, let's do a few of our scarf songs. Let's do Let's Go Fly a Kite. And remember, you don't have to have a scarf like mine. You can use anything, a dish towel, a washcloth, if you have an extra scarf hanging around, the kids can use that. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Let's go fly a kite up to the highest height. Let's go fly a kite and send it soaring up through the atmosphere, up where the air is clear. Oh, let's go fly a kite. Good job. All right, let's play our little game. Can you put your scarf over your arm? All right, good job. Can you put your scarf on your head? Not everything's pink. Can you put your scarf behind your back? Can you put your scarf on your hip? Can you put your scarf way over your head? Good job. Okay, let's do popcorn. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Popcorn, 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 popcorn. In a pot, in a pot. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Till it pops. Till it pops. Let's do that one more time. Ready? Popcorn, 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 popcorn. In a pot, in a pot. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Till it pops. Till it pops. Good job. All right, let's move on to our next book, which is called I Went to the Zoo by Rita Golden Gelman. The other day, I went to the zoo. I don't know why I went to the zoo. It's a silly thing to do. The pandas were sitting, the camels were spitting. They were bored as bored could be. Come home, I said. Come home with me. The other day I went to the zoo. I don't know why I went to the zoo. It was a silly thing to do. The monkeys were swinging, koalas were clinging, the pandas were sitting, the camels were spitting. They were bored as bored could be. Come home, I said. Come home with me. The other day I went to the zoo. I don't know why I went to the zoo. It was a silly thing to do. The rabbits were hopping, the pigs were slopping, the monkeys were swinging, the koalas were clinging, the pandas were sitting, and the camels were spitting. They were bored as bored could be. Come home, I said. Come home with me. The other day I went to the zoo. I don't know why I went to the zoo. It was a silly thing to do. The penguins were sliding, the ostriches hiding, the rabbits were hopping, the pigs were slopping, the monkeys were swinging, the koalas were clinging, the pandas were sitting, and the camels were spitting. They were bored as bored could be. Come home, I said. Come home with me. The other day, I went to the zoo. I don't know why I went to the zoo. It was a silly thing to do. The horses were neighing, the mantises praying, the penguins were sliding, the ostriches hiding, the rabbits were hopping, the pigs were slopping, the monkeys were swinging, the koalas were clinging, the pandas were sitting, the camels were spitting. They were bored as bored could be. Come home, I said, come home with me. The other day, I went to the zoo. I don't know why I went to the zoo. It was a silly thing to do. The hippos were soaking, the bullfrogs were croaking, the horses were neighing, the mantises praying, the penguins were sliding, the ostriches hiding, the rabbits were hopping, the pigs were slopping, the monkeys were swinging, koalas were clinging, the pandas were sitting, and the camels were spitting. They were bored as bored could be. Come home, I said, come home with me. The other day, I went to the zoo. I don't know why I went to the zoo. It was a silly thing to do. The beavers were slapping, the seals were clapping, the hippos were soaking, the bullfrogs were croaking, the horses were neighing, the mantises praying, the penguins were sliding, the ostriches hiding, the rabbits were hopping, the pigs were slopping, the monkeys were swinging, koalas clinging, the pandas were sitting, and the camels were spitting. They were bored as bored could be. Come home, I said. Come home with me. The other day, I went to the zoo. I don't know why I went to the zoo. It was a silly thing to do. The tigers were crouching, the kangaroos pouching, the beavers were slapping, the seals were clapping, the hippos were soaking, the bullfrogs were croaking, the horses were neighing, the mantises praying, the penguins were sliding, the ostriches hiding, the rabbits were hopping, the pigs were slopping, the monkeys were swinging, the koalas clinging, the pandas were sitting, and the camels were spitting. They were bored as bored could be. Come home, I said. Come home with me. The other day, I went to the zoo. I don't know why I went to the zoo. It was a silly thing to do. The peacocks were posing, the elephants hosing, the tigers were crouching, the kangaroos pouching. The big beavers were slapping, the seals were clapping, the hippos were soaking, the bullfrogs were croaking, the horses were neighing, the mantises praying, the penguins were sliding, the ostriches hiding, the rabbits were hopping, the pigs were slopping, the monkeys were swinging, koalas clinging, the pandas were sitting, and the camels were spitting. They were bored as bored could be. Come home, I said. Come home with me. The other day, I went to the zoo. I don't know why I went to the zoo. It was a silly thing to do. The wolves were howling, the lions were growling, the peacocks were posing, the elephants hosing, the tigers were crouching, the kangaroos pouching, the beavers were slapping, the seals were clapping, the hippos were soaking, the bullfrogs were croaking, the horses were neighing, the mantises praying, the penguins were sliding, the ostriches hiding, the rabbits were hopping, the pigs were slopping, the monkeys were swinging, koalas were clinging, the pandas were sitting, and the camels were spitting. They were as noisy and bored as could be. It's time, I said, to come home with me. So 2 by 2 and 3 by 3, I took the animals home with me. As soon as the furniture started to break, I knew I had made a big mistake. They were sitting and spitting and swinging and cleaning and hopping and slopping and sliding and hiding and neighing and praying and soaking and croaking and slapping and clapping and crouching and pouching, posing and hosing and howling and growling. They were as messy could be. They shouldn't come home with me. So 3 by 3 and 2 by 2, I took the animals back to the zoo. I don't know why I went to the zoo. It was a wonderful thing to do until he has to clean up the mess. The end. That's a fun story. I wanted to remind everyone that we do have still bags for the summer reading challenge. For you to sign up, simply call us here at the library, and you can pick one up through curbside service. Just call us when you get in front of the library, and we'll run some out to you if you haven't picked them up already. We still have these left, and you can still sign up. Remember, you have to be signed up to get the prizes at the end of the summer. So if you have the bag and you haven't signed up yet, or if you need some help, give us a call. Also, we do have Crafternoon bags left for July. It has 4 activities. Each one is a different one, like these fun little puppets on a stick, some watercolor projects with step-by-step instructions, a butterfly mobile. So please, once again, you can do curbside service, and we'll bring it right out to your car. So if you have any questions, give us a call here at the library. I appreciate you very much joining us today. And be sure to stay safe and wear your mask. Bye, friends.